I'll soon be 87. And until this year, I was in really, really good health, but I am mostly retired. Quit doing real estate appraisal, although I stay busy with some real estate activities, management. So life is good. I have 4 children. 3 of them live close by. I think you met Connie from Canada.
Yes.
She was here for a while this summer, or this spring and winter. And that was a delight because we don't get to have that much time with Connie. And yeah, I think you've met Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I also have my youngest daughter is an appraiser also, and then I have a son who's out of town most of the time. He did come to the planet Unity. He's just seriously interested in that sort of thing. So,
what is something that people here might not know about you?
Might not know that I am a dog show judge because I'm not doing much judging anymore. It involves so much time, I just don't want to do it. I do ballroom dance, and I still do, although I'm not competing anymore. I've done ballroom dance for about 20 years.
How did you find Unity of Springfield?
A friend of mine got married here and invited me to her wedding. David Schumacher was the minister then. That was approximately 45 years ago, or 46. I've already told you my age, so that's all right. So I liked the message. It was like nothing I had ever heard in the conventional churches, so I came back and joined. And so I've been a member for 45 years. I don't think you can beat the 11 o'clock service. I am here basically for the message of the service, specifically for Sue now. But there are certainly a lot of social times that we've enjoyed each other, and I've enjoyed friendships that I've made here.
What is one of your favorite concepts or philosophies or principles about unity?
It would have to be inclusivity. I don't find that at other churches. Also, I would have to mention that the concept of God within, not out there somewhere, is dear to me, very important to me. But the inclusivity has been a struggle for us sometimes here in the Bible Belt of the Ozarks. And I keep thinking that someday they'll catch up with us and say that we led the way, and I hope that happens.
If someone asked you, why should they come to Unity? What would you answer?
Oh, well, it would be for your own enlightenment, to learn and advance in your understanding of who you are and what the world is around you.
What woman or who has influenced you or been a role model for you?
Well, Sue. she's number one. Um, my mother was a wonderful role model, although she's been gone many years now. But I don't know, some of the political people that I've really enjoyed have been role models. I've, but I always come back to Sue. She's really special to me.
What's your favorite word?
Peace.
When did you first run for the board? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, it's been so long ago. Doug Bartorf was the minister, and he asked me to run for the board, and he had some faith in me, more than I had in myself, and thought that I would be welcome on the board, and so I did. Except, I think, a position for someone that was gone initially. But then I ran for it and did another 3 years, and then another 3 years. Total, I did 9 years, 2 of which were president of the board. That was an experience. I was really, really busy at the time, appraising real estate and advancing my career. And yet, I took on that responsibility also. And I was so amazed that whenever I needed to do something in that capacity, the time just opened up. I never had a problem with the time. And it does take a lot of time, although I'll have to admit I never spent as much time at that job as some of the others have. And I wish that I had, but I did what I thought needed to be done.
What was one of the most rewarding aspects of being on the board?
To feel like I was doing a good job, and members seemed to think that I was and supported me wholly and made me feel like I served them well.
That's lovely. What was one of the most challenging aspects of being on the board?
Oh my goodness. 2 things come to mind. The first one is accepting gays. We had a number of members that didn't, some of which were on the board, and it was a struggle to try and bring them on board with the equality of all people.
What advice would you give to someone coming onto the board?
Oh, I'd say enjoy. You're in for a good ride.
How did you find Unity of Springfield?
How did we find Unity? Lynn and I, together, give it her credit for her that found it, but we came, matter of fact, we came in 94. I mean, we've been here a long time, near 30 years. But at that time, Doug Bontoff was the Reverend, and he used to put a message. It was a phone message that you could call in, and it was there for a week, but it was a prayer or an affirmation. And I think that's how she found it. So we came, and I'm not sure which one of us said it, but when we were done, when we left, we both looked at each other and said, it didn't feel like church, but I liked it, and we've been back ever since.
What woman has had a big influence on your life or is a role model?
Woman, there's a bunch. I mean, I had a great mom. I have a great wife. I mean, my marriage life is phenomenal. Every day I want to be the best I can be. I've been at this church for 30 years, so is Sue. I believe. I mean, I look at Sue and I think Sue is a living, breathing example of if you put these principles to work. But there is one that comes to mind the most, and that's Norma Vinson. Norma Vinson has just touched my life in so many different ways. I went to work for her in 1997, and number one, I was changing careers, and she hired me as an appraiser. She ran her business like someone that goes to Unity. I mean, she encouraged someone to set goals. She pushed them to step outside their comfort zone, to work hard and achieve. Even at church, stepping out of my boundaries or comfort zone, she encouraged me, and I served. I mean, to serve on the board of directors of the church. I did for a couple of years with her, and I did 6 years on the board, and probably I was president for a year. But I mean, I look at my life, and I'm self-employed now. I have my own business, and that's a lot to do with her. The house I live in has got to do with her, and some of the things that I take on as an appraiser has got a lot to do with her. Was a friend, a mentor. I can't say enough about her. I mean, she's just a wonderful person, and I am very grateful that I've had the opportunity to meet her. And I will elaborate. When I was looking for a job, I interviewed with a lot of different people to try to get a job, including her twice. And then I was at church, and we were decorating the sanctuary for Christmas. And someone said, "Here, take this garland." My wife said, "Here, take this garland and help with this." And I looked at the top of the ladder, and it was Norma Vinson, and we were at the front of the church. So however long it takes you to hang garland from the front to the back of the church, we talked about family and church and values and everything. And when we got to the end of the back of the church, she said, "Well, after the new year, come by and see me." So even from this, I got my job from this church too.